Station 6, Station 13 responded to the area of Laurel Ridge Road off Spur Road. There was to a buffalo brush fire. As you can see smoke in the distance.
Initially, it started at a house that was under construction. First arrived on scene, we had a pretty good brush fire, but I grew up in 6 Mile, so I knew I had 5 homes in that area.
Well, our main thing is always going to be our citizens' safety. There are some folks that live around the base of the mountain and then up the more toward the top.
The second thing is obviously the equipment that's on top of the mountain.
We have a lot of communications equipment up there.
That tower houses the repeater that sets off the activation sirens for the Oconee nuclear plant.
As far as devastation goes, the top of the mountain was the worst. I knew what we were kind of looking at, so I went straight off the bat getting forestry and my surrounding departments coming because I knew we were gonna need help. I never had any issues. I had guys coming off duty. I had volunteers coming, multiple agencies coming from around the county. We had forestry that brought multiple tractors. Clemson University Forestry came without me even calling them. So the response to us was awesome. As far as our county fire service goes, I couldn't have been happier. And my guys, I can't brag enough about those guys.
My role here is multifaceted. Just like all of us, everybody in the company has multiple roles. We all take care of the customer in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Whether that is fixing a need, a problem with the customer equipment, customer experience, or fixing a problem at a tower site. It doesn't matter. Our job is to take care of the customer.
I received a phone call from the very beginning. Matthew was on the phone with me when he was on his way. Already had a game plan formulated once he arrived on scene.
I'd already made a push trying to get to the top of the mountain, and during that, Matthew Littleton had called me. Let me know he was on the way and was asking if I knew the condition of our tower. At that time, we hadn't been able to get to the top.
We were able to go back up after the fire had crested the top of the mountain.
And getting up there and seeing the destruction of the building itself was essentially, it wasn't even there.
As we were discussing that, Matthew Littleton was already on top of things and making preparations to get us back in service. Fortunately, with our switch to the Fleet Talk system, we had redundancy in that we were picking up other tower sites, so it really didn't affect our operation in a negative way at all from my perspective.
Very comforting in my mind knowing that we have that redundancy that's built in the system.
The day after the 6 Mile fire, which Matthew told me he was going to have that repeater up the next day. I believe Matthew because he's never lied to me before, but it was hard to believe. But I went up the next morning and and I may be exaggerating, but it seemed like 10 to 15 guys on the mountain getting that tower back up. And that was a sight to see because most of the time you hear that from a company or business, but it's nowhere near the level that they describe. But it was back up the next day.
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal service. It goes to show that the dedication that Fleet Talk has to serve their customers and the ability that they have to be able to respond to incidents like that and the work that they put in even after hours on the weekend to be able to make sure that their customer had the capability to perform their everyday operations.
It was very good to know that we had that kind of response from our vendor to take care of our needs, and that way there was no deficit in service to the citizens of Pickens County because we were able to operate the entire time uninterrupted.
But I think the biggest thing that sets us apart is the relationship piece. It's personal for us. Our technicians live and work in the communities we serve. We need them to be up and operational because it's our homes, our families that they serve.
It got very windy and very cold the night of 6 Mile mountain fire. And it would be very simple and very easy for a vendor to say, I've got your problem fixed, I'm going to the house. And that didn't happen. And he was out there freezing to death with us just like we were. And I'm appreciative of that.
I would just brag on the customer service of it, even though the radio operates great, but the fact that you can have something like that happen and have it up the next day is awesome.
Fleet Talk is a phenomenal system. I didn't have to call them, neither myself, Chief Gibson, Chief Odom, nobody had to make the call to Fleet Talk to tell them that we were fixing to have a potential problem. They were already monitoring the situation.
We've had good support from them, not only on the 6 Mile mountain fire, but during Hurricane Helene. That was probably our first major test. And even more recently than 6 Mile Mountain with the Table Rock Complex fire. We have the interoperability, now having all the emergency service entities on one band And just knowing that we have that ability to communicate from places that we didn't, we have that confidence now.
When we swapped to the Fleet Talk system, but the transition was smooth, and we went out initially to all the locations we knew that we never was able to talk, and we were talking flawlessly. I haven't found any locations yet this radio don't work.
I can buy radios from anybody. Anybody can build a tower. Anybody can build out a system. But we have now been through what I consider 3 major disasters: Hurricane Helene, the 6 Mile Mountain Fire, and Table Rock, where the radio system did have some impact due to damage that was outside of their control. But first, we had the redundancy built in, that the system continued to work as we expected. But then crews were on the scene, they had technicians there, and the issue was resolved very quickly. So I think that level of customer service, that's something you don't see a lot anymore.
Our desire to find a way to say yes is something that's missing in customer service in general today.